They called him invisible. He sat in the back of every classroom, hoodie up, eyes down, headphones in. The kind of kid no one noticed until the final grades came out, and his name was always at the top. His name was Liam Carter. To most people, he was just the quiet kid. But what no one knew was that behind that silence was a mind that was watching, calculating, and rewriting the rules of everything around him. Teachers said he had potential. Bullies said he was weird. His classmates barely remembered his face. But deep down, Liam didn't care. Because while the world was busy underestimating him, he was busy understanding it. The real story began on a cold winter afternoon. The principal's voice echoed through the hallway. "Liam Carter, report to the office." Everyone turned to look. Liam stood up, calm as ever, and walked out. No emotion, no expression. Rumor spread instantly. He's in trouble. But no one knew that behind that office door, something extraordinary was happening. Inside sat a panel of tech executives from a major cybersecurity firm. Liam wasn't in trouble. He was being interviewed. At just 17 years old, Liam had secretly hacked into his school's computer network, not to cause chaos, but to fix it. He found a vulnerability that could have leaked every student's personal data. Instead of exploiting it, he sent an anonymous email to the school district with detailed instructions on how to patch the system. That email had gone viral. The executives had tracked it back to his IP address, and instead of calling the cops, they wanted to meet the genius behind it. When they asked how he did it, Liam replied softly, "I didn't hack your system. I just listened to what everyone else ignored." He explained how he noticed patterns others missed. Login habits, teacher errors, timing of updates. His brain wasn't loud, but it was precise. That day changed everything. Liam was offered an internship, but he declined. He wasn't interested in working for anyone. He wanted to build something of his own, something the world wasn't ready for. He went home, locked his door, and opened his old laptop. For the next 2 years, he disappeared from everyone's radar. While his classmates partied, Liam spent nights surrounded by screens, energy drinks, and lines of code. He wasn't just building software. He was building a system that could outthink human greed. He called it Project Mirror, an AI designed not to predict what people wanted, but to reveal what they were hiding. It started as an experiment, but soon it became something bigger. Liam fed it global data, news, markets, governments. He trained it to detect lies in media, corruption in corporations, and manipulation in algorithms. By the time he was 19, his AI had done the impossible. It uncovered a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme inside a Fortune 500 company. And once again, the quiet kid shocked the world. But this time, he didn't go to the authorities. He posted the entire case anonymously online, with evidence so detailed it forced an international investigation. News channels went crazy. Anonymous genius exposes corporate corruption. The internet's new hero? Everyone was searching for the identity behind the username Silent Mind. Only a few people suspected it could be the boy from the back of the class. Months passed since the world last heard from Silent Mind. Governments, tech giants, and hackers all tried to trace him, but every lead led to nowhere. Liam Carter had disappeared again. Most people assumed he was hiding. But the truth? He was building something bigger. After the chaos, Liam retreated to a cabin deep in northern Canada. No neighbors, no noise, just endless snow, a flickering fireplace, and the quiet hum of his machines. He spent months there, disconnected from the world he once exposed. But his mind was still racing. He couldn't stop thinking, if I could reveal corruption, could I also prevent it? That thought sparked a new obsession. He began building a system, something more advanced than his last AI. He called it Eidolon. Unlike Project Mirror, which revealed lies, this one would predict them. Eidolon was designed to study human behavior, every tweet, comment, and transaction, and forecast corruption before it happened. It wasn't about watching people. It was about understanding patterns. If humanity could see its own reflection, maybe it would change. For months, Liam worked alone. His walls were covered in notes, graphs, and formulas written in marker. He barely slept, surviving on coffee and the sound of typing keys. Then one night, Eidolon finally came online. The screen glowed softly. A robotic voice said, "Observation initiated." Data started flooding in: news reports, social media, government records. Within hours, the system began forming connections no human could ever see. It discovered how misinformation was spreading faster than facts, how fear was being sold, and how truth was being rewritten. By dawn, a single line of code appeared on his screen. "The system is corrupt by design." Liam stared at it for a long time. He realized his greatest fear had come true. The problem wasn't a few bad actors. The entire system was built to feed on lies. But before he could dig deeper, something strange started happening. His servers flickered. Connections dropped. Someone, or something, was inside his network. Liam checked the access logs. The breach wasn't random. It was precise. A private intelligence firm had found him. They sent a message. "We know who you are. We need Eidolon." He didn't reply. Then another message arrived. "If you don't cooperate, we'll take it anyway." For the first time, Liam felt something he hadn't in years: fear. But not for himself, for the technology he'd created. He knew if Eidolon fell into the wrong hands, it could control the entire digital world, manipulate elections, economies, even minds. So he made a decision. Liam encrypted the program into thousands of fragments, hidden across servers around the globe. Each piece was useless without the others. Then he wrote one final line of code. "Knowledge belongs to those who protect it." He pressed enter. Eidolon scattered into the digital ether, untraceable, untouchable, unstoppable. The next morning, Liam was gone. Some say he destroyed everything and vanished into the Arctic. Others believe he uploaded himself into the network, becoming part of the system he built. Weeks later, mysterious events started shaking the online world. Government servers suddenly patched critical vulnerabilities. Overnight, fake news sites disappeared. Hidden corruption files surfaced anonymously. No one claimed credit. But those who studied the patterns saw one familiar signature. It was Silent Mind. He had returned, not as a person, but as a force. His impact rippled quietly through every corner of the internet. And yet the man himself remained unseen. Years later, a video appeared briefly on a dark web forum. It was just 48 seconds long. A hooded figure sat in the shadows. His voice was distorted, calm, and deliberate. "You built a world that worships noise," he said. "But truth hides in silence. I never wanted power. I wanted understanding." He paused. "If you're watching this, remember, silence isn't weakness, it's focus. When you stop talking and start observing, the world reveals its code." Then the video faded to black. Underneath, one final message appeared. "Silent Mind offline." To this day, no one knows what happened to Liam Carter, but his ideas changed everything. He proved that silence isn't ignorance. It's a form of intelligence. That observation can be stronger than action, and that sometimes the smartest way to change the world is to outthink it quietly. Some say he's still out there, not in flesh but in code, guiding algorithms, exposing lies, and protecting truth. But maybe he's just somewhere peaceful, sitting by a lake watching the world he once rewired, and smiling at how loud everyone still is. Because he knows something they don't. The quiet ones always win. Moral of the story: silence is a weapon, not of weakness, but of wisdom. While the world shouts to be heard, the quiet ones listen, learn, and lead. Liam's story reminds us that the loudest voice isn't always the smartest, and that sometimes the person saying nothing is the one changing everything. So if this story inspired you, like, share, and subscribe, because somewhere out there, another quiet kid is watching, ready to outsmart the world all over again.